We call this public session to order. We are first going to report out closed session, and the board has business to report. We need to report that we upheld the denial of interdistrict transfer appeals for students 262708 and 262709. And that's all we have to report out of closed session. So if you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Our first item on the agenda is Tell Me Something Good tonight. Can we have something?
We do. Let's start with Mr. Muchnick.
Oh, sure. We have, I think, just one that's here. We have Miss Krista Stasi, who is joining us as our food service assistant. And we hired a lead custodian / bus driver, Mr. Jose Pimentel. Very glad to have him on staff. He's been doing great. He worked all summer to help get the campus ready to go, and it's looking wonderful. And we also hired a new instructional assistant, Rachel Repass, who's supporting students in our upper grades, which are 2 and 3.
Ms. O'Mary?
We are so happy to have Cassandra Delormier. Cassandra is our special ed aide, and she has been just a ray of sunshine for Washington Union. So thank you, Cassandra. She's also a district parent, which is wonderful. So thank you for being here with us.
Okay.
I was waiting for Joe.
That sounds like it was getting uncomfortable staring at it.
Yeah.
Recognition of reclassified students.
Right. So this year we had 4 who reclassified. Unfortunately, all of them had after-school activities, and they all sounded very fun. So the first one, we'll just give a round of applause to Ian Rendon, who now is in Salinas High, so he reclassified. Have a San Francisco student, Aaliyah Ventura Velasquez, who reclassified. Jacqueline Trujillo, who was at my school, she reclassified. And lastly, Sebastian Segala, who is now a 6th grader, he reclassified.
Let's move on to organizational updates.
Nothing to report.
I have nothing to report except for looking back to school, forward to back to school night in a couple days. Done that?
Yeah, we'll start. Yes, we start back to school nights tomorrow night at Toro Park. Tuesday night is at Washington, and next Thursday is San Bernardino.
Okay.
6 o'clock to 7:30. For my organizational update, what I thought I would do is provide an update of what's been going on all summer, mostly related to facilities. And so just wanted to give you an update, starting with San Bernardino. We got out in May, and the team went to work. Summer school started on June 1st, so Joe's campus remained pretty busy throughout the summer. But we're working on our outdoor volleyball court. It is almost complete. They got the covering down over the grass. We're waiting for some sand to be delivered, and then they'll finish out the framing, and we'll get a net up there, and we can start using it. If you have been on a walk on campus, on the San Bernardino campus, you've seen those yucky old water tanks that were back there that were rusted and leaking and all kinds of things. So we finally got those replaced. And we ended up having some water issues. We finally diagnosed the water issues. We got them repaired, and so sprinklers are up and running. And we're hoping to have some a little bit greener grass pretty soon. At the same time, we entered into an agreement with Toro Bulls football, and they're going to be using our fields to practice. And as part of the agreement, they said that they would work on the field for us a little bit. And try to green up the grass. When the water system failed, that sort of went awry because we didn't have much water out there for a little bit. But they have also, if you have been following us on social media, They hired a pest management company to deal with some of our squirrel issues. If you've ever been out here on an afternoon when kids are gone, you can see just hundreds of squirrels running across the field. They burrow, they dig, they make giant mounds in the grass, they get under the buildings, they eat wiring, they create a lot of problems on campus. And so it's not a fun job to do pest management. But the company they hired came in and did a lot of work for us, and we have seen a great reduction in the squirrel population, and so it's much quieter out there, and it's starting to look a little bit better. As you can see, the parking lot got a new slurry coat. We'll get it striped in the next few days, and then following the slurry coat in the parking lot, they're going to move out to the playground area and out here into the quad area. And then by October, we're going to have some new sheds out there. So we're getting some things cleaned up a little bit that are in need of it. It's been a long time. Up at Washington Union Elementary, they have giant oak trees out there, and we were getting a little bit concerned at some of the growth that was growing over the school buildings. So we did a rather significant trimming. And that's going to reduce some of the potential hazards caused by the large branches hanging over the roofs. We're working on a leak in the 4th grade workroom. And then we're going to work on aerating the lawn out there and getting that greened up so the kids can have a little bit more grass to play on. At Toro Park, we've got some roof repairs that we completed on the 1st and 2nd grade building. As Mike said, we're really excited to have Jose Pimentel join us as head custodian. He's been at work all summer working on getting some stuff done. If you've driven by, we've got bark in the planter box in the front, and we're adding some additional bark next to the teachers' parking lot. We met with the homeowners association and talked about some ideas for that little front area. They're going to communicate with the county, who's in charge of maintaining that area, to see if we can get that cleaned up, get some of those old woody plants out of there and something a little bit more attractive. Yesterday, we had a meeting out in the garden area. We have a family who's made a significant donation, and we're going to see if we can improve the garden area. So we're looking forward to another meeting next week to get some of the teachers involved, to get some input there, and see what we can do to create a little nicer garden area, possibly some additional outdoor learning spaces. And so we're really excited about that. As a district, we've been working with a grant writer, and we just completed and submitted a grant yesterday. It's called the COPS, School Violence Protection Program Grant. COPS stands for the Office of Community Policing Services, something like that. It's a matching grant, which requires a 25% match from the district, but it's up to $500,000. And so in that grant, what we have submitted, and it's all related to school safety. So what we've included are safety fencing and gates, updated lighting at the campuses, some additional security cameras, and some new door locks. So it's quite an extensive grant. It was quite a process. We just submitted it yesterday, so we're waiting on some final submission information, and then we won't find out till probably March on that grant. And then they did let me know yesterday that following that grant, there's another grant opening up for some very specific safety features, and they're willing to work with us on that one as well. So we'll keep you updated on that. And then just following up on some information we talked about in the spring, as we head into the fall and we get closer and closer to that community funded threshold, one of the things we talked about in our committee meetings and then we discussed in the spring is getting input from our community. Once we get into community funded status, we'll have a lower enrollment. We'll have some space in the budget. As we've talked about, our budget doesn't really change. Our budget will remain the same. What changes is our staffing level and our enrollment level. So we'll have a little bit more space in the budget and some flexibility. So what our next step is, as we discussed, is to get input from the staff and from the community and from our parent groups about what they envision that looking like and try to get some feedback. So what we're going to do over the course of the school year is schedule some listening sessions. The first one will be tentatively Wednesday, September 16th. And we'll do a meeting structure, and we'll get some input on what people envision for the district, what they want to see, and what some of their ideas are. We'll do the same thing with teachers. We'll schedule some probably site-specific, and see what sort of information we gather over the course of the school year, so that as we move into that next phase, we have some direction and some input. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, mine's pretty short. We get the school year off to a start. Andy and ASB put together an orientation where the students got to get tours. And if you'll recall, we usually have the sixth graders come over, or fifth graders at the time, come over from Washington to San Venancio and check it out. But we didn't do that this year. So we allowed those new students that were attending San Venancio to come on this Tuesday and hear from me, hear from Mr. Hogan, and get a tour of the campus. So we did an orientation that was great. Spirit Week's upcoming. Dance number 1 is upcoming next week on the 21st, and Spirit Week is also next week. We had soccer start. We've had a great turnout for sports. Soccer, I know boys soccer had like 30 signups. Girls soccer, a lot too. I can't remember, just shy of that. So we have had a lot of people coming out for sports. So excited for that. I attended our admin retreat over the summer where we prepped for the year. And then I helped with COPS grant. We met a lot. And she said it was a pretty intensive grant that we had to put together a lot of information. So we had meetings for that over the summer. And then I went to the district PD that Lily organized with Chantel, and picture day tomorrow. And then our back to school night's the 21st.
I attended the administrative retreat and the professional development with the WUSD teachers. So thank you to Ms. O'Mary for coordinating that. We did a TK kindergarten orientation this year. So a huge shout out to the TK team, Ms. Myrick, Ms. Thompson, Ms. Boda, and Ms. Romero for putting this on. It was a great way to set up, our youngest learners and families for success. We have been working with families regarding our combination class. Like we originally anticipated a TKK combination class, which based on enrollment, we were able to collapse. So a huge thank you to Ms. Myrick for her flexibility and Ms. Goen for taking on the 2-3 combination class. We're navigating the Morning County road closure in front of Toro Park, and a huge thank you to the Highway Patrol for helping with the enforcement side of that. We did interviews for our docent assistant. We successfully transitioned to a new IT support provider over the summer since our previous provider went out of business, so we are covered. And you're all invited to Toro Park's back to school night, which is tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
We finished up summer school. During summer, we also had Camp Ohana, which was very successful. Joe, Jean, and I went to Sacramento and did the Alternatives to Suspension workshop, which was very, very informative. I had many meetings with Amplify, all of our science pilots, so I'm going to go in depth with our curriculum in a little while. We also had picture day today. We have back to school night next week at 6 o'clock. And then we also are working to get the SPCA to come and do pause for reading. So we're looking forward to do. And lastly, we have a 4th-5th combo, and I want to give a shout out. Ms. Felt's doing an amazing job. So I'm really happy with that.
GTA?
Oh, yeah. I met with Gina and Lily this summer. I attended the President's Conference the weekend before school. It was very eye-opening as usual. And we had our first meeting of the year, and the teachers are grinding. We are grinding right now. It's the beginning of the year. We're working hard, and hope to see you at the back to school nights.
TCA?
Awesome. So it's awesome to be back. We're super excited. I think my whole group here at San Venancio is really excited to be back. The last week of summer, I attended a 5-day CSA workshop, which was really informative. I came back with a lot of, with a wealth of knowledge that I hope I can present to my classified unit and the district. There was classified hiring done over the summer. I wasn't a part of that, but I was a part of the our docent assistant position that we just did interviews for with Mr. Ed, so that was awesome. Our board is the same. Larissa Tackett is our VP. Jesse Ephard is our secretary, and Sarah Charlesworth is our treasurer, and the president again. Our meetings are going to be the second Tuesday of each month, except this week or this month it's not going to be that way because of Washington's back to school night, so we'll push that back 1 week. I'm not doing the day because that confuses people. I'll just do 1 week. I have an EERC meeting with Superintendent Uccelli and our labor representative this week on Friday. I also have on the 25th, I'm working with our labor representative to move to a different district to kind of see what's going on in other districts so that I can be more prepared for this district. And we're moving on with our COLA negotiations and look forward to like bringing that to the table. Let's see, I just want to thank Lily because I have been contacting her for the last 2 days over and over with the Amplify needs. Thank you so much for making that happen for our 8th, 7th, and 8th grade students. It's been a little bit challenging. Other than that, ready to rock and roll.
We had a successful back to school supply kit fundraiser that we did. We did about 370 kits, which is wonderful. We have our first meeting next Wednesday, the 19th at 6 p.m. at the Toro NPR. If anybody wants to come and check out what we have planned for the upcoming year. Yeah. Good.
On to community input. Joe, do you have?
Okay, I have 2 cards. Jen Frazier first, talking about an invitation to the staff lounge.
In general, to invitation to our board members to stop in anytime. You're welcome to come visit my class, and I think most of the teachers on our campus would agree. We're always happy to have visitors and come in and chat with the kids and see what we're up to. And then, yeah, we have a new staff lounge. Ours was kind of a casualty of the free lunch program. But now we have a really great space, and I wanted to shout out Diana O'Mary because she did a lot of work on it, and it looks really like cozy. We've been using it every day for lunch, and we had our collaboration meeting there, and it was like very productive. So yeah, it was really amazing.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, next up is first grade as a whole. I don't know if that's Karen or Susie. Standing invitation to watch CKLA lessons.
All right. So first grade wants to extend the invitation any day of the week from 10:30 to 11:30 to come watch our CKLA lessons. They are riveting, and we would love to have you. You can see what you gave us to work with. The students, you'll come by, see it in the beginning, come by a little later, you'll see how they grow. We'd love to have you.
What time was it?
10:30 to 11:30.
Every day.
Every day.
Okay.
Every day.
I don't have any more cards.
Okay, thank you. Then we can move on to correspondence.
None.
None. Okay, great. And our first discussion then is enrollment.
Current enrollment is 574 students.
All right. We have a report on district curriculum activities.
Board members, I have prepared a folder for you. This is a folder that all teachers received when we did our back to school kickoff. So if you want to go ahead and just walk through the folder with me. The district kickoff was last Monday, and so we started off with breakfast. And again, I want to give a shout out to my mom. She helped me bake 60 quiches that morning, so thank you, Mom. We had a wonderful introduction by our superintendent. We started with a partnership with Chartwell, so I'll go more into depth with that, but we are partnering with Chartwell this year for a structured literacy PD. Lunch, thank you to Star. El Chorito was the talk of the town. It was delicious, so thank you. And then we followed the day with staff meeting. And so this year I asked Gina, is it okay if we branded this year? I did a lot of reading over the summer on how to build teams, how to make sure that they're productive. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that we're doing so much in curriculum this year. And so I wanted everyone to know that we're in this together, and there's just a lot of learning going on. Like, it's insane, but these teachers are amazing, and I know we all can learn together. And then this is just a photo of Chantel in our back to school kickoff. So the first thing in your folder is our partnership with Chartwell. So I went ahead and I just copied the goals that we'll have as we meet with Chartwell. And then I included all of the PDs that we're having with them. So if you would like to come and observe, come and sit with us, please do. And it is Chantel who's leading it, who is a district parent as well. And so we've already started off our first PD with just the brain, how it works, how it learns to read. So I think this will be a really great PD throughout the whole school year. So we're going to meet with her periodically. And again, it's nothing to overwhelm anyone. And I hope that I got that point across to our teachers. I don't want anyone to feel overwhelmed. I want it to just be information that we can put into our toolbox because we do hard work. Our teachers are already awesome. I just want to make sure that we are always giving them new and interesting information.
That was great.
Oh, good. Thank you. And I did not pay her to say that. The next thing that I am. Oh, yeah, the quiche. Yeah, that was my mom. She was the best. The next thing that I've done, and this has taken a lot of time, and I just appreciate those who are doing the science pilot with me. First, what I did is we are piloting science this year. Last year during ILT, I shared a slideshow of all the available curriculums, and wow, I was really in for a treat because I didn't realize I had to meet with over 12 different curriculum companies to ask, what is your price? How are we going to do this? So we were able to nail down the curriculums that were the most interesting to us. So the first one that we're doing for K-5 is National Geographic. And to make things even more interesting, every company has like 4 different names to it. So I get a Cengage email, but it's actually National Geographic. So I have that in my inbox constantly. So K-5, we are doing National Geographic. And for 6-8, we are doing STEM scopes. And so what I did was I have a kickoff for each of the science pilots that we're doing. And so I know this year we're doing combo classes. We're doing the structured literacy. And so what I'm treating this as is each of these kickoffs is a science retreat where the teacher gets a full day sub. They come work with me and the trainer, and they have the rest of the day to plan. So when we're working with the trainer each day, we'll only have about 2 hours with them, and the rest of the time is uninterrupted planning time for them to plan out their science pilot. The only thing on here is that we are working with perhaps National Geographic or Open Science. So I will be talking with our science middle school teachers that day. And I also included our science pilot team down below. And to have a non-biased adoption, I included in your folders, and teachers, I did not give this to you because I didn't want to overwhelm, but I do have just a very generic science rubric. And if we appreciate the science curriculum, it just is a rubric that teachers will fill out after they're done piloting. And it allows me to see what they liked, what they didn't like, and how we can move forward with those companies. Are there any questions on the science pilot? Okay. The next thing is I planned out the entire school year on our Wednesday collaboration day. All the teachers have gotten a copy of this, and teachers, I'll send you the digital because I remembered I did not send that to you. So they will be getting the digital one tomorrow. And so it has all of our PD days. It has our when report cards are due, when multiple measures are due, all the things for the entire school year. I don't think I've made a mistake yet, so knock on wood, but if you guys see a mistake, let me know. Happy to fix it. The next thing is I wanted to make sure that our teachers also knew what I ordered for them, because I would hate for them to think, okay, did Lily order this? Now I have to send her an email, then I have to respond. So what I did was I just laid out what was ordered for them. So this year we have Mystery Science at Toro Park in Washington. This is a really interesting contract because it's only by school site. So it's kind of interesting. We're paying the same price for Washington and Toro, but that's just how the package works. IXL, this year we implemented science and social studies. We all currently have 1st through 8th has ELA and math, but we're running out our contract, and so everything will be included on August 20th for 1st through 5th. Fitnessgram, we reordered it, and this is just physical fitness tracking. So that's for 5th and 7th grade, which are the 2 grade levels that they must do a physical fitness test. Vocabulary, we did not order this year, but I did let parents know, and Heather, I'm looking at, I didn't respond to you yet, but you will get vocabulary, my apologies.
I still have it.
Oh, good, okay, great.
It's not expired yet.
Oh, maybe they know that I need it, and they just kept it going. So vocabulary, we didn't order it at the district level, but if teachers do want it, they can send me the email. Now, the last thing, this is something that I'm very excited about, is we're going to start using Renaissance Learning. And so Renaissance Learning is going to take the place of our CRTs. Because when I met with the instructional leadership team, I was getting a lot of feedback of our multiple measures are not even, especially in the CRTs. Some teachers are doing the SBAC test as their CRT, some are doing the unit test for Amplify, some are using Eureka Math, some are creating their own. And so I wanted to make sure that we are just streamlined. Everyone's getting the same assessment. So what I'm going to show you on the next slide is this is the snapshot that a teacher will get after she gives the Renaissance test. The Renaissance test is a standards-based test. and it's adaptive. So as a teacher, I used this for about 10 years when I was teaching. And so what it is it's a snapshot of who is on grade level, who is meeting grade level, and who might need help. So as a teacher, this was really great because it was really basic. When this popped on my screen, I knew, okay, I could do a small group with these guys and try and bring them up. And so this is also what a teacher would see, and you also have the option to give this to families, and it tells you exactly what students need help with, which is great. And so again, this, and the best part is it's graded for you. So teachers don't have to worry about grading their CRTs. This is just, again, that score is going to just plug into our multiple measures as our CRT grade. So I think this will be really great. We're all going to be trained this month. And then included in our training is we have data chats. So we'll be able to meet with Renaissance and go over how we can read this data and how we can teach our students to the standards. Are there any questions?
I believe you said it's adaptive.
Yeah.
So does it mirror the SBAC? So does it provide another layer of like preparation for kids?
Yes.
Okay.
And so it'll, when I spoke to the rep, it'll tell us how closely the students will be to passing that back. Yeah, that's correct.
You said it was graded. How's it graded?
The computer gives it a grade. So they'll get an Alexa level and also like kind of their scaled score. And so I'll make sure to match it to how our multiple measures are scored and our CRT specifically. The next thing is I've been working with our combination teachers. So we have curriculum planning resources. So what I did was I asked all of our curriculums to send me some different pacing guides on how combination classes can use their curriculums if they're teaching 2 different grade levels. So that's in a shared folder. I have been reaching out to MCOE frequently. They came and dropped off some literature on how to best support combination classes. So that has been offered to our combo teachers. And lastly, MCOE is open to coming in, observing the combo class, and then supporting them afterward with a coaching hour. So we are going to implement that hopefully soon. Lastly, for math, just as an informational piece, we went from Desmos, which is just our normal curriculum, and this year the math framework changed to California Desmos Math. And so when I spoke to our rep, they just mentioned that it's the exact same teaching, it's the exact same curriculum. It's just that now with the California edition, it just has little ELD sections on how to better support our English language learners. And Eureka Math is fine. It's the same framework. We're totally covered with that. And that's curriculum in a nutshell. Are there any questions? Thank you.
I have no questions, but I just want to give a shout out to Lily. She's doing a phenomenal job as our curriculum director, and we're just blessed to have her. So thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you. We're on to action items, and the first is the approval of resolution 2026-2701, establishing a temporary interfund transfers of special or restricted fund monies.
So temporary interfund transfer, this resolution allows the district, if need be, to borrow money from one fund to pay something off if there's not enough money in the fund that's typically used to pay whatever that expense is. There's a law that says you have to pay it back, but using this resolution, you are allowed to borrow from one to pay off if you don't have all the funds in that account at the time.
Just to clarify, we're not in any danger of that right now.
We are not.
Just if this
No,
is a
we are not.
precautionary measure.
Yes.
Okay.
This is something that, could come into play perhaps once we reach that community funded threshold, because we get 2 tax allocations a year, one in March and one in April and October. So if you only get 2 a year, by September, you may have some funds that are running a little bit low until you get that tax payment. So this may come into play a few years down the road more for us. Yes.
Setting up for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So this is, do you have any questions? Sorry.
No.
So this is a resolution, so we need a roll call vote.
That's correct.
Okay, so, and I make a motion
Yes.
to approve. Second. And I.
All right. Approval to classify records as class 3.
So this is the process we use to classify records that are either permanent or disposable. So disposable records are those that we obviously no longer have to keep. And so we kept them for their statutory amount of time. Now we can remove them from our records room. So we need a motion, we need an approval to classify them as class 3, and then we'll make a motion and approval to destroy them. So this is the first.
Okay.
Motion, I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, approval of destruction of class 3 records.
There you go.
All right, I made your motion to second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. And now we get to approve to classify district records as class 1.
Perfect. Correct. So these are some older personnel files that we've had, and we have kept them, and it's time to classify them as permanent, and we'll store them securely in perpetuity.
Make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And we get to approve some updated board policies.
We did. Any questions on the list?
Pretty
Pretty
straightforward.
straightforward.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And then the consent agenda.
Any questions?
The health services, 1F, that was in regards to us being able to get recompensated, right? That was my understanding of it.
Which one?
F,
Oh, yeah. Approval of agreement with,
the California Department of Health Services, the very last one.
Yeah.
Okay. That was just be getting compensation for counseling and things like that that we're already doing.
Correct.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. And we're on to future meeting dates. We have a few corrections.
We do. It would appear that the meeting calendar that was used is last year's meeting calendar, so those dates are incorrect. So our next meeting is September, I believe, the 9th.
Yeah, 9.
And then the October meeting is the 7th. The November meeting is the 4th. And then for the December meeting, because of the rules around elections, our current December meeting is scheduled for December 9th or 10th. Because of the election, there has to be an amount of time between the election and the organizational meeting to give candidates time and make sure we're ready to go. And so there's a window between December 11th and I believe the 20th. So what I'd like to do is move that meeting to December 16th.
In that case,
Second. I'll make a motion. I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Ah,
Thank you.
Thank you.